Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today I'm handling topic 3 of supply chain management information systems. So last time we looked at two systems. We said there are only two systems in supply chain management systems. It is either manual system or an electronic system. Now we looked at everything to do with the manual system, why people are preferring to go for the electronic system. Now we have reached topic 3, where we have to now look at the acquisition of an e-procurement application. Now that you've settled in your business and you've decided, I want to incorporate the e-procurement system, how do you go about acquiring that system? Because it's not something like bread. We can go to the shop and say, give me bread, and then I go and consume it. A system is procedural. It takes a procedure for you to be able to acquire one. And it's not a one-day event where I'm waking up and saying, today I'm no longer going to use the manual system. I'm going straight for the electronic system. No, it will take a lot of research to be able to find which is the most suitable system for my business. It will take a lot of consultations to be able to find out what are the challenges of incorporating a certain system in a business setup like mine. Because a business setup will also challenge you in which system to employ. So here we shall look at how you start acquiring an e-procurement system, the criteria you use, the stages of acquiring, the service providers, how do you get them? All those questions everyone has been having regarding starting an e-procurement system or application can be answered in this particular topic. So if we can begin, there are several approaches of acquiring an e-procurement system, because at the end of the day you want to acquire a system. What are the approaches? One is the off-the-shelf. Off-the-shelf system is a ready-made system. In the market of systems, you will always find a ready-made system. It is already on the shelf. So your work is to go and say, I want this system to be incorporated in my business. They are readily available. So there's no starting to look at what you do. So you just research, find out which are the ready-made systems that can easily suit in my business, and then you employ them. You start using them. So of course it has advantages and disadvantages. They are readily available. That is the biggest advantage. The company is not the first or the only user. People have been using that system, so you know the advantages, you know the disadvantages. The prices are usually very favorable if it is something that is readily available. And then the vendors usually update the softwares, and of course you can get the latest software. But there are disadvantages. The software may not precisely meet your business needs because it is a general software. So you may want a specific one for your business, but because you are going for the off-the-shelf, you'll find it is the one which is readily available. Suppliers can abandon a product or close their business. Those providers can get tired of their product and just leave it. So it means you don't have anyone to guide you. High customization costs. You may want to customize, and then you find you'll have to incur a lot of costs of customization. The second option you have is you develop your own software in-house. We call it customized. A very good option, because you'll tailor make it for yourself. It will suit your business. It is helping you to be able to do everything on your own because it is yours. The disadvantages are it is very costly. It is costly. It requires a lot of IT staff, a lot of research to be able to find out how do I incorporate all these things in this particular software. High development and maintenance cost, etc. The third option, you can outsource. Outsourcing means you go and get a company, give them your information and tell them, I want you to prepare for me a software that has 1, 2, 3. But the only difference between outsourcing And the second option, which is developing in-house, is that outsourcing, you don't own that software. That software remains with the owners, which is the outsourced company. So it doesn't belong to you. For the second option, where you develop in-house, the software becomes yours. But for the third option, which is an outsourcing option, the software remains the property of the outsourcing or outsourced company. It doesn't transfer to you. So one day when the contract has ended, they will go with their software, leave you without anything, unless you have entered into an agreement to buy that software. But that is an outsourcing option, a very good option, but very dangerous. Because as good as it is, you can be able to get so many outsourcing companies. The cost is quite minimal. You can change. If you find this software is not working out for me, you can decide to change another company. Those are benefits. But the problem is that software will never belong to you unless you agree that it will. We agree on a contract that it will belong to me. If not, it's not your property. The fourth option is the e-marketplaces. You can go to the electronic marketplaces and find places where softwares or systems or applications are being bought and sold. That is what we call e-marketplace. You can be able to find so many electronically. Reverse auction or using a third-party auction site. Joint ventures. Those are some small ways you can obtain a particular system or software. Consortium, hybrid approach. Hybrid, you can combine. You can combine two methods out of the 8 that we have looked at, and be able to say, I'll combine this one and this one. Of course, you have to find out, are they going together? Because there are methods you cannot be able to combine, but there are those you can combine and say, I will outsource some parts of the procurement process and the others I will make in-house. That is a hybrid approach. So you choose 2 or 3 options and say, instead of going through disadvantages of one on my own, let me be able to combine the advantages of 2 and the disadvantages, and then be able to get a good product. So that is it. Essential features of an e-procurement application. It has to give you very many features: electronic catalog, electronic request for quotation, electronic invoice, electronic marketplace. So a good system should give you all the applicability of the entire procurement process. So if I want to start a procurement process from the beginning to the end, I should choose a system that can be able to apply all the procurement activities from the end to another end. Criteria for selecting a software provider. Of course, the same way you select a provider who provides goods. But here you'll be very specific because you want a software. You will look at the contract considerations. You look at the flexibility, history of the service provider, unique requirements. What is it that is unique that this provider is bringing to my business? You look at data consideration. You look at things like ease of use, installation. You look at resources in terms of hardware and software. You look at cost estimates. Who is giving you the best estimated costs? The staff, the technological advancement, performance, reliability of the provider, and also security. Once you have gotten the best provider, you go and look at the stages of acquiring an e-procurement software. First, you define the functional requirement. What is it that you want? And then you look for potential suppliers. You end up number 3, determine the evaluation criteria. Then evaluate the e-procurement service provider, choose the best, and then enter into a contract with them, and then establish a service level agreement. A service level agreement is like a contract. You come up, but this is because you are providing a service, then we call it a service level agreement. You agree or you enter into a contract of agreement. Once that is done, you acquire your software. So that is it. Types of e-procurement application service providers. You can go to software houses. You can be able to find the service providers. Outsourcers. We've said one way of getting it's to outsource. So outsourcers can be a good source of information. And then companies that are involved in telecommunication. That is it. Of course, there are advantages of e-procurement application service providers, disadvantages of e-procurement application service providers, because these service providers, they also have their own advantages and disadvantages. But at the end of the day, if you want a software or a system application, then you have to go look for it. From the sources that you can, from everywhere you can be able to do a lot of research. At the end of the day, you'll find yourself with a very good software that is suitable for your particular business. So that is it for now.